Dragon Ball FighterZ remains a favorite among the Dragon Ball fighting games thanks to its excellent gameplay and character designs. But how do the characters' moves stack up to their anime counterparts? Today's video is all about comparing Dragon Ball FighterZ's moves to the show and deciding which one looks more powerful. I'm going in depth on all your favorite characters and showing just how good they look in video game form. But are they better in the show? That's what we'll see right now. Let's get into it. Goku finishing off Frieza is one of the most iconic moments in all of Dragon Ball. After a long fight, Goku shows Frieza mercy, only for the bitter villain to try to get another attack in, forcing Goku to retaliate. It's an incredible moment, and it's so cool to see it done in the FighterZ game. But come on, no way does it compare to the anime moment. Although the moves look the same, you just don't have the same investment you do in a single video game fight compared to the time it took the anime to get to that moment. It's all about that build-up, right? 16's death at the hands of Cell was a big catalyst in helping Gohan unleash his rage and go Super Saiyan 2. And that's a moment that's both in the anime and in the FighterZ video game. And although the animation around his transformation in the video game looks a lot more epic compared to his anime counterpart with the twirling camera and better effects, I think the video game transformation is missing the emotional weight behind the decision. Look how in the anime Gohan sees a glimmer of 16 in his eyes before changing. That's a small detail, but it really shows how hurt Gohan was by this moment. When Frieza popped Krillin like a balloon, it spurred Goku to finally go Super Saiyan for the first time. Both the video game and the anime do a great job with this moment. And I have to give major props to the video game for showing me Krillin's demise in spectacular HD, but I actually think the anime is better here too. For one, it's a more drawn out process as we see our heroes beg for Krillin's life. And the explosion may be better in the game, but in the anime you actually see Krillin puff out even more before he explodes, which is both brutal and jaw-dropping. The video game looks tame by comparison. The FighterZ video game gives us a chance to relive Goku's epic attack against Buu. But man, do I miss everyone yelling Goku's name as he delivers his fatal blow. And this is one of the rare instances where the anime blast is actually bigger and better than the game blast, which makes sense given the context of everything. We also get a bit more time in the anime watching Buu disintegrate, which is always a plus if you ask me. So yeah, overall, those spirit bombs should definitely not be messed with. You really can't compare the energy blast that Beerus fires at the Earth and at Goku in the anime and the FighterZ game. Including the moment in the game is a fun addition, but no way can it stack up to the real thing. But props to the game makers for trying. In the game, it's a finishing move where Beerus throws the energy blast and Goku hears the voices of his friends enough to break through it and then pass out in defeat. Which sure is in essence what happened in the anime, but it's a vast oversimplification of the events. But it looks cool though. During the Frieza saga, was there any of us that thought we'd ever see a Goku and Frieza team up? I don't think so. But thanks to the awesome might of Jiren, these two unlikely allies were forced to take on the potentially strongest being in the universe. And man, both clips in the video game and the anime are just fantastic. Although the moves aren't exactly the same in the two, both highlight the teamwork between Goku and Frieza. And for an added plus, the video game also included Jiren commenting on the trust between the two of them and just being in awe. The real thing is still better, but this video game moment is excellent. One of the best Future Trunks moments in the anime has to be when he cuts Frieza like butter. It's so satisfying, and the video game honors that by giving us a fun little Easter egg, and as you totally wail on Frieza, it ends with you pulling out your sword and chopping the villain up and blasting him away. It's a fun reference to the anime, which takes things a bit farther as we see Future Trunks chop Frieza into bite-sized pieces. Both are really cool, but seeing more swordplay in the anime and turning Frieza into cubes gives it the edge over the game. If for some reason you only played the FighterZ game first, then you probably would think Gohan beating Cell is the best thing ever. But then you watch the real thing in the anime and you're just blown away by the difference. There's just so much more detail in the anime, and that's obviously because there's more time. Watching Goku help Gohan with his inner strength and completely wipe out Cell is the sort of fist-pumping awesomeness you'd expect from the show. But on the bright side, both include Cell making an extremely goofy face before he disintegrates, which is what we all need in our lives. FighterZ should really be commended for all the little details it put in its dramatic finishes. Take the Goku and Kefla fight. In the original anime, Goku had an awesome fight with the fusion character that had a pretty memorable ending. While Kefla launched a massive attack against Goku, Goku nimbly dodged and unleashed a powerful attack directly at Kefla. The original is hard to beat, but the game has an awesome reference to this cool moment, and it's enough to make anyone smile. Well, maybe not Kefla. I don't think she was smiling after this. Big thanks to Mormon Grievous for the gameplay footage, because I could watch Vegito fight Fuse Zamasu all day. It really makes for an excellent fight, and it's even better when you think about the original fight in the anime. The real highlight is watching Zamasu slowly lose hope and control in each of the fights, and that's something the video game captures well. Sure, it looks a little different, but the core of the fight is still there, and that's what matters. Now, this isn't so much a special move as it is actual gameplay. When you fight using Tien in the game, you have the option to use an exploding Chiatsu as an attack. Thank you, Rakudo Fox, for the gameplay footage of Tien using Chiatsu as an attack against almost every player in the game. It's a fun reference to the actual anime where Chiatsu's sacrifice was a major plot point. The icing on the cake is hearing Tien yell for Chiatsu every time he does the attack, which is equal parts sad and a little hilarious. There's no denying it, Goku going Ultra Instinct is way better in the anime than it is in the game. But are you really surprised about that? The anime makes the transformation incredibly important, filled with shocked characters, epic music, and a lot of time devoted to the transformation. The game just doesn't have that time to devote to it. And can you blame it? Players don't want to see that epic cutscene every time. They want to fight using Ultra Instinct Goku. And thanks to Bandai Namco Entertainment America for the gameplay footage, because it just reminds us all how fun it is to play as Ultra Instinct Goku. As you can guess by now, some moments from the FighterZ game are almost carbon copies of certain anime scenes. Others are more fun references that touch on the original battle. Take the fight between Krillin and Nappa, for instance. The video game has Krillin unleash a blast, take out some minions, and end up missing Nappa, which leads to the fight. The anime is of course different and overall better, but it's still fun to see video game Krillin do that technique, where he guides his blast up in the air and then smashes it down on his enemies. No matter how cool the gameplay from Janemba 8000 is between Gogeta versus Broly, it will never be able to live up to the anime. And that's not a knock on the cutscenes or the gameplay by any means, but the anime fight between the two characters is practically the best thing ever. Watching these two powerhouses just destroy each other definitely gets your heart pounding, and it makes me want to drop and start doing push-ups immediately. But props for keeping the volcano setting, because that really sets the mood for the entire fight. And obviously the fun thing about the game is that you can change the outcome of the anime fight. Even though the circumstances are different, there's a lot of similarities between the Trunks and Zamasu fight in the anime and the video game. The game still sees Trunks call upon the strength of others to help him drive his sword deep into Zamasu's chest, and both versions have Zamasu just dumbfounded at how this happened to him. He basically says that this is impossible in both versions, and I like how that was the consistent thing they kept in adapting the video game from the anime. I like the anime one though, because his sword looks even scarier in that one. Yeah, I never want to get on Trunks' bad side. This one is just a fun callback. Yamcha has a legacy that is sort of unfortunate, as he's mainly remembered for his goofy death pose that saw him looking like a wounded, defenseless puppy. That image of him just laying there has sparked 1,000 memes, and it's something even the show itself has poked fun at. So of course the video game was going to make a reference to it. While fighting Nappa, the ending move sees Yamcha getting blown up and recreating his famous pose. Sorry, Yamcha. Majin Buu had some really odd powers in the anime, and sometimes they could really throw a person off guard. Like, remember the time he turned Dabura into a cookie snack thing and then ate him? Yeah, definitely an odd moment. And if you play as Majin Buu in the game, you too have the chance to turn your enemies into cookies. Thanks to the gaming mole, Bray Rai, for the gameplay footage of Majin Buu, as we can see him turn multiple players into small snacks that, quite frankly, look delicious. Piccolo's fight with Android 17 had a lot of really excellent individual attacks in it, with one of the biggest being Piccolo's Hell Zone grenade attack, which the character used to great effect. Plus, it just looked cool. Everyone knows the main thing for any attack is for it to look awesome while doing it, right? And fans of the Hell Zone grenade get to use it for themselves in the FighterZ game, thanks to Kuwanger KRT for the awesome gameplay combo video that sees Piccolo use the Hell Zone grenade just like in the anime. But yeah, it's clear the anime makes it seem way more powerful. Goku's fight against Nappa is often overlooked now that the series has given us plenty of over-the-top fight scenes, but there's a lot of neat stuff in this fight. For one, Nappa uses his break cannon attack, which sees him shoot a laser from his mouth. We need more of that in Dragon Ball. It's a relatively quick attack in the FighterZ game, which thanks to TGN Anime for the gameplay footage, but the anime really does a good job of making it a deadly threat that looked like it could cause Goku some serious harm. Transformations in the FighterZ game really do get the short end of the stick. I've already said that the transformations are quick because people just want to get to the fighting, which is why transformations like Frieza into Golden Frieza will always be better in the anime than in the game. In the anime, it's a huge deal that shocks everyone and makes people from all around stop and stare at what's happening. The video game doesn't give it that much attention, but anyone who knows Frieza knows just how powerful this transformation actually is. What's your favorite move in Dragon Ball FighterZ? Let us know in the comments below and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more awesome Dragon Ball content like this. Thanks for watching CBR. See you next time.